Soy yo Vicky otra vez. En el video de hoy vamos a mirar parte 4 del examen para GCSE. I mean, there is no real equivalent of GCSE in Spanish, so I need to call it that. Maybe I should say GCSE. I don't know if that would really make sense in Spanish. But anyway, so yeah, the fourth video, which is giving us a little test. Could you pass a GCSE in Spanish? And in number 4, in this fourth video, we're going to look at negatives and pronouns. So pronouns, pesky pronouns, nobody likes pronouns. They're always a little bit complicated. But anyway, there are plenty of videos on my channel about pronouns. Hopefully they explain them a bit more easily. Personally, I think pronouns are, well, I suppose like everything there. Once you click with pronouns, they're actually not that difficult. It's just that the order of pronouns is completely different in Spanish than it is in English. And we'll look at that later, because we're going to look at negatives first of all. Negativos. ¿Cómo hablamos en negativo en español? So, only 5 sentences. You think, oh, they're easy, but they're actually not. They're tricky sentences that they've chosen for this little test. It's not just normal negatives. I think most of us, hopefully by now, you know that if you want to make a negative in Spain, normally you just put no in front of the verb. These are a little bit trickier. So let's look at them in English first. We've got nobody visits her. I never go to church. He doesn't have any money. Neither his sister nor his brother helped him. And number 5, I didn't go and he didn't go either. A little bit tricky, more than just negatives, I think. So, this is the time where you need to get your paper, get your pen, write these down, or pause the video. I could cover up my face like that. Pause the video and just write them down off the pad, because in a minute I'm going to give you the answers. So I'll do that one more time just in case you want to do that. You can pause it, obviously, and I'm going on to the answers now. Okay, are you back? Have you done them? Have you had a go at them? Here's the answers now we're going to look at. So number 1, nobody visits him. Now, nadie le visita. So now it's tricky with the le. My advice would be, because really le is indirect pronoun. A direct object pronoun, indirect object pronoun. Again, if you don't know about pronouns, you need to look at the YouTube tutorial, because I'm not going to sort of go into the whole thing about I'm presuming you know what pronouns are. I'm just explaining to you how they fit in this test. So really, we could use lo there. Nadie lo visita. Was it him? The question, presuming it was him, or was it her? It's her. So we could use la. Nadie la visita. What to be aware of in Spanish is it's a whole great big debate as to whether you should just always use le when you're talking about people. Not just him, her. Anytime you're discussing people, whether it's indirect object pronoun or direct object pronoun, personally, I always use le, because it's just easier to remember. You've got to go for the easiest thing. And I use lo and la for it. Occasionally I might use a lo or a la. I mean, it depends what comes out sometimes. So that one, you would have nadie le visita or nadie la visita también. You could make it a little bit more complicated and start with the no and say, use a no and say, no le visita nadie. But then, of course, you have to use the double negative. So the easiest way, as always, choose the easiest, is to put the nadie first, and then you don't need the double negative. Okay, número dos. Same with this one. Instead of saying no voy a la iglesia nunca, you can avoid the double negative and say nunca voy a la iglesia. Okay, número tres. No tiene ningún dinero. Now, any, you don't really need to translate any. You could just say no tiene dinero. He has no money, which I suppose same in English really. But if you want to translate the any, which probably if you were doing a GCSE, that's probably what they're looking for. No tiene ningún dinero. Now, these last two, these are a little bit more complicated because where you've got nor his sister, nor his brother. So, ni su hermana, ni su hermano le ayudaron. So, neither his sister nor his brother helped him. In Spanish, they're both ni. And again, I've used le, but I suppose you could say lo. Y número 5, no fui yo. Again, the yo is completely optional because fui is I didn't go. Y él no fui, again, the L optional. No, oh, that's fue, not fui. I've done the, oh, I wouldn't have, maybe I should have left it and seen if you noticed. I like it when people come to me and say, well, do you know you did this wrong? Because then I know that people are actually watching, but sí, no fui yo y él no fue tampoco. So what they're looking for here is the tampoco. So when you're giving a positive as something that you did the same as somebody else, like, yes, me too, you would say también. But when you say me neither, you use tampoco. ¿Vale? Okay, vale, so we're going to look at some sentences now in English, which again you're going to translate into Spanish. I'm going to hold them up, see if I can get all of them up there. Yes, so number 1, I saw him but he didn't see me. Number 2, we saw her but she did not see us. Number 3, I visited them, they visited you, he visited us. Number 4, I am looking at you, I am going to visit you. Number 5, give it me. Number 6, don't give it to him. Number 7, I sent it him. Number 8, I sent them to him. And number 9, the present is for him. Number 10, he wants it for her. Number 11, you are with me. And number 12, I am with you. Okay? So again, I'll just hold it there a moment so that you can write them down, because I'm going to go to the answers in a moment. So you can pause your video and you've got that there, because that was hurting my fingers actually holding that up. So hopefully you've paused your video. And now I'm going to read you the Spanish. Okay, so número 1. Le vi, pero no me vio. Le vi, oh, I could hold it up, couldn't I? Le vi, pero no me vio. And again, that could be lo. Lo vi, pero no me vio. La vimos, pero no nos vio. Yeah, that could be le vimos again, but la does make it clear that it was we saw her. La vimos, pero no nos vio. And then these these are all in pre-tree. Les visité, te visitaron, nos visitó. Okay, so those are the 3, you've got the endings on the verbs and the pronouns. Now, número cuatro. These are, the reason they've put these in is I am looking at you. So these ing words, gerunds, whatever you want to call them, ing words in Spanish is one time when you can put the pronoun at the end. There's another time spot which we'll look at in a moment. So, in fact, there's a couple, but they're all in here anyway. So, I am looking at you. You can say, estoy mirándote. Now, you do have a conjugated verb as well with estoy, so you could say, te estoy mirando. They're both correct. I think in this, they're looking for the mirándote to show that you know that it can go on the end of an ing word. So I would do it on the end if you were in the exam. And the same with an infinitive, voy a visitarte. So you could also say, te voy a visitar, but because you've got an infinitive, it can go on the end of an infinitive. So it's to show that you know that. Same with number 5 and 6. These are asked because they're wanting you to know where a pronoun goes with an imperative when you're telling somebody to do something or not to do something, command. Again, on my channel there are tutorials on what's called imperative or command. Not only telling someone to do something like in a harsh way, but just asking, come in, sit down, etc. It's not always an order in the aggressive sense of the word. Dámelo. So that's a positive command. Give it me. And we can put it, well, we have to put it on the end. We can't put it anywhere else. Whereas with a negative command, it has to go before the verb. So no se lo dé. No se lo dé. Now, also the se. This is another pronoun. This is the indirect object pronoun. Where you have two L pronouns together, the first one converts to se. Did you know that? If you don't know that, that is explained in my tutorial on indirect object pronouns. It's in level 3 book, if you have the books or you want to buy the books. See, so then we've got the same with number 7, se lo mande. So really it would be le lo mande, but you can't have the two little L pronouns together, so the first one converts to se. Se las, is that las or los? Se los mande. Again, it's converting the indirect object pronoun to se. Okay, número 8, el regalo es para él. The present is for him. So with para, we can't use lo or se or anything like that. We use el. El regalo es para él. Número 10, lo quiere para ella. So same thing, but this time for her. He wants it, or it he wants for her. Número 11, did you know these two? Conmigo, contigo. Estás conmigo, you are with me. And número 12, estoy contigo, I am with you. So I love these actually. I don't know why I get these little things that I like. Conmigo, contigo, with me. So not con me or con yo, conmigo, and not con tú or con ti, contigo. Okay, good. That's it. That's it for this video. We'll be looking at the next lot later on in the week. Hope you're finding it useful. As usual, please give me a thumbs up if you are. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And gracias, muchas gracias por mirar. And sí, que tu Dios vaya contigo y te veo en el próximo video muy pronto, very soon. Hasta luego.